Paperboy News here to deliver y'all that daily report. Now, Infant Azmo explained the whole reason he had a fallout with Spider-Loc. So let's get straight into it. Now, Infant Azmo said despite the issues that he had with Spider-Loc, he got to give him his credit for being one of the first podcasters out here in the West Coast. But he said after that Nina Boy and Bosco fight, he jumped in the ring and said a couple of things that he wasn't supposed to say. Now, Azmo said being in the streets most of his life, he didn't know the power and effect that his words can have on social media. Because after that Nina Boy and Bosco fight, Compton Menace said that him and Spider-Loc had some issues, and instead of talking about each other on social media, why don't we settle it in the boxing ring? Now, Infant Azmo was hella faded that day, and he basically jumped on the mic and told Spider-Loc, if you don't accept that fight, then you're not from the set anymore. Now, Infant Azmo said the reason why he said that is because Compton Menace been calling Spider-Loc out for the fade. And he said Spider-Loc being his homie and both being from East Coast Crip, if you didn't want to catch that fade, then he'll take that fade for you. Now, Infant Azmo said not long after he said that, Spider-Loc gave him a call. And he basically said Spider-Loc told him, damn, why you put me on blast like that? I thought we were supposed to be homies. Now, Infant Azmo said after he heard Spider-Loc say that, he was right. So he went on another platform to basically clean it up. And he basically said on that other platform that we all humans and we all make errors. But at the end of the day, Spider-Loc's always gonna be his homie. Now, Infant Azmo said despite the issues that he had with Spider-Loc, being that they both from the same set, he wasn't supposed to bring the issues that he got with Spider-Loc on social media. Then he said even though a lot of his homies was mad at him due to that situation, he's too grown to get DP'd. Now, he did say in his time, the only time people get DP'd is when you leave a homie hanging, you rat on somebody, or you hanging out with a snitch. And he said all this other ish that's going on, it's not a protocol for a DP. And he said that's what's the problem with a lot of these gangbangers now. Because if he wants to say something that's on his mind, he's gonna say what the F he wants to say. And no matter how they feel about it, that's his opinion. Now, Azmo said no matter how him and Spider-Loc feel about each other, at the end of the day, they both from the same gang. So they gonna have to eventually meet up and talk to each other. Now, Infant Azmo said even though they from different streets, they both from East Coast Crip. And at the end of the day, he attends all the East Coast Crips hood days. Then Infant Azmo says him and Spider-Loc's issues not that big, and they already had a sit down and they already talked it out. And even though they don't hang around each other like that, they always gonna be homies. It's just they both grown and they both doing their own thing to try to provide for their family. Now, Infant Azmo said ever since he came home from prison, every beef that he had with anybody, he learned from it. And he said as humans, it's regular for homies to have a bad day, and that person says F you to his homie, and his homie replies back by saying F you to him. But he said at the end of the day, that don't mean they hate each other. And if y'all really homies, y'all can get over that. Now, Infant Azmo said one thing he's not gonna do is get into it with his homie and go talk about it on social media or expose any hood business on the internet. And he especially is not gonna go on the internet and talk about you about something that you not. Now, Adam said even though gangbangers or gang members not supposed to be talking about their hood business on social media, he said a bunch of gang members realized that social media pays good money for good stories. So a lot of times, even though they ain't supposed to talk about it, they do it for the almighty dollar. And Adam said if you're looking at it from the streets perspective, they're going against the G code because they're talking about their gang and street politics on social media for the whole world to see. Now, Moneybag Rose, aka Infant Azmo, dropped some solid content. And now that you guys heard what he said, y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in that comment section. Paperboy News stand. Y'all be safe and stay dangerous out there.